Bad breaks are just a part of bowling, but they always seem to come at the wrong time. We've seen many bad breaks that have cost players PBA titles, and once again, there was a bad break at the 2025 Pete Weber Missouri Classic that potentially cost one player a title. This occurred during the title match, so we're going to break down exactly what happened and look at the matches that led up to the title match. First up, we had young gun Ryan Barnes facing Englishman Dom Barrett. This was Barnes' second ever PBA televised appearance, and unfortunately, it didn't go anywhere near as well for him this time around. Both players struggled in this opening match, as just after halfway, we had about 5 open frames between them. Ryan Barnes did make a ball change to the Road Warrior in the 8th, which didn't work out at all, as the first shot went through the nose and the 9th frame missed the head pin for another open frame. Dom experimented a lot at the end of this match as he had such a large lead. He used quite a few different balls, and although he wasn't at his best throughout the match, he did enough to make it through safely to match number 2 to play 3 seed Timmy Tan. A disappointing match for Ryan Barnes, who's had a strong start to the season and will surely be back on TV playing for a title very soon. Timmy Tan from Malaysia was making his PBA TV debut, and his first strike was interesting, but he made it a double with a much better shot. The first thing to note is Tan's backswing and the power he's able to generate because of it, and I think his backswing certainly caught a few people by surprise. Dom had 2 mixing strikes in a row, sticking with the stealth mode on both lanes. Meanwhile, Tan was using a Zen 25 on the right lane and the XL on the left. He looked very impressive for his debut, but this is a guy who has tons of international experience, especially bowling for his home country. He started with the front 5 and then left the 2-4-5, which he did spare. Dom left the 2-4-10 in frame 6, which he came very close to making, but it would be an open frame. Tan struck in the 7th and 8th to increase his lead to 40 pins, and if you think this one is now over, well, think again. Dom made it 3 in a row to give himself a chance, and Tan then left a 7-pin in the 9th off a pretty good shot, and then got a pretty unfortunate break, leaving a 5-pin. Now this gave Dom an opportunity to win with 2 strikes and 9 pins, and of course, he calmly stepped up and got the 2 strikes he needed. This final shot he turned away from, and it looked like he didn't really like it and thought it had no chance. It went high, but he got the 9 pins he needed. It was a superb comeback from Dom Barrett, but you have to feel for Timmy Tan because he really didn't do anything wrong in this match. He put in 2 decent shots in the 9th and 10th frames, but just did not get the carry. He's been bowling extremely well lately and is another bowler you can expect to see more of in 2025. Now, Dom Barrett would play a man who's in red-hot form this year, Tim Foy Jr. He had a great run at the Illinois Classic last week and just fell short in the semi-final match against Chris Vi. Just like the last match, Barrett was down this time by 27 pins after 6 frames. But he managed to trim his deficit to 7 pins with 3 in a row. I have to say at this point, Barrett's ball reaction has been fairly solid since game 2, and considering that these lanes are playing tough, he is looking very good out there. Foy got quite quick on his 8th shot and went light for the 2-4, but he made a much better shot in the 9th to maintain a 7-pin advantage. But now Barrett had a chance to shut out Foy, which he managed to do as he struck all the way out, including this Brooklyn on the fill shot. Foy started this match really well, but just had a couple of errant shots at the wrong time, and to be honest, once again, Barrett just came up clutch. Now it's the title match, and Barrett really does have all the momentum and is looking to complete his run of the ladder, but he will have to deal with the best bowler on the planet right now, EJ Tackett. Now, naturally, it did take a few frames for EJ to get fully lined up, which is a big problem for the 1 seed, especially in this case as Barrett had 3 games under his belt and was looking very good, going spare 3 in a row before then leaving a 10-pin. This gave him a 19-pin lead, but look out because here comes EJ Tackett, who struck in the 5th and 6th to take a 1-pin lead. He's using a Venom Shock and looks to have got lined up pretty quickly. Now we come to Barrett's 6th frame, and this is what I mentioned at the very start of this video. He got a terrible break here, leaving a pocket 7-10, and what a time to leave it, right as EJ is working on 3 in a row and is just 1 pin ahead. This really was the turning point in this match, and I think we all knew watching this at home that this was now EJ's to lose. Once you give him a lead, it feels like that's it. To be fair, Barrett did all he could to try and come back from that 7-10 by striking in the 8th and 9th, but after Tackett spared in the 9th, it meant he needed 9 spare and 9 to shut him out. He left another 10, which he easily took care of, and then struck to win his 25th title and 2nd of the 2025 season. Dom had bowled so well throughout the entire telecast, but there's nothing you can do when you get a break like this. All you can do is sort of take your hat off to him for coming back pretty much, apart from the first match, match 2 and match 3, he stuck in there, he came back, and he came up clutch every time. But without that 7-10, we really could have had a different outcome. Yes, Tackett did strike twice more, but then he did have back-to-back 10 pins, so take that open away and Barrett would have had a chance to win. There's so much to take away from this telecast, and honestly, the quality of bowling we saw was simply outstanding. Ryan Barnes, will be back to prove everyone what he can do. Timmy really stood out. Tim Foy Jr. also played a very good match. Dom Barrett, of course, was about as clutch as you can be, but it was once again EJ Tackett who stood above the rest. Quite simply, he is the best in the world right now. And that will bring us to an end of today's video. I hope you firstly enjoyed my breakdown of the Pete Weber Missouri Classic, and I hope you all enjoyed watching this one live as well. I did. I had a lot of fun watching it. It was one of the best shows, I think, for quite a while. Just the quality of the performances from the bowlers, as I said, was really great to see. And considering the oil pattern was a little bit tricky, I think the scoring pace was pretty good, and the bowlers did very well. Dom Barrett, you could say, probably based on his performances in the first 3 matches, definitely deserved to win, but that pocket 7-10 just stopped him in his tracks, and EJ at the end of the day was just too good. We've got a couple of weeks break now until more PBA action hits Fox with the Roth-Holman doubles, which is being shown, I believe, on the 2nd of March on FS1, and then we have the Mike Albee Classic a couple of weeks after that. So yeah, more PBA action coming up very soon, and also the World Series of Bowling in March as well. So make sure to subscribe to my channel if you want to keep up with all of the PBA action, and I will be doing more breakdown videos just like this one. Thank you all for watching once again, and as always, thank you bowling fans, and see you all next time.